Alrighty, folks, thank you for joining me here on this lovely, lovely Saturday night. The time is now 11:08 p.m., and we are going live here because we have a emergency situation. We have damaging wind gusts up to 100 miles per hour with a severe thunderstorm, a line of severe thunderstorms approaching Mertzon, Texas. This is a catastrophic situation for Mertzon and the Highway 67 corridor towards San Angelo. If you are in this area, you need to get underground immediately. If you can't get underground, you need to get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. If you're in a mobile home, you've got to get out. You are likely not going to make it out of this okay in a mobile home. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that is the honest truth here. These are destructive wind gusts of EF1 tornado intensity. So again, treat this as if it were a extremely wide EF1 tornado, because the difference between this and an EF1 tornado, the 100 mile per hour wind gusts come over a 10-mile swath. So this is like having a 10-mile wide EF1 tornado. So again, if you are in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately, underground if possible, if not on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. This is a catastrophic situation now as these PDS severe thunderstorms approach Mertzon, Texas. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. If you have the capabilities to, please share this stream out with a friend so that we can help spread the word, because this is an extreme situation that we have not seen at all yet this year. We have not had a severe thunderstorm warning with this tag so far in 2025 until now. So again, these are extremely destructive severe thunderstorms here as these approach Mertzon, Texas. So again, I'm going to go ahead and share this out on social media. I encourage you guys to do the same. We actually do have, because God has blessed Stormrunner Media here tonight, DL Scales is about to get the intercept of a lifetime here with these 100 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. Again, I've been live now for about an hour with Mr. Storm over on his channel, but this is something that I figure warranted going on the live here on the main channel, because this is extremely significant. So give me just a second here. Okay, so again, if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are getting underground, not, outside, not sitting in the living room watching TV. You need to get underground. If you can't get underground, get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, in an interior room. Again, this is a catastrophic situation now for Mertzon, Texas, and portions of Erie County. Again, impact, you are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. They don't even say maybe. They say mobile homes will be destroyed. Expect considerable damage to homes and businesses. Expect extensive tree damage and power outages. Again, this is a catastrophic situation as damaging winds up to 100 miles per hour approach Mertzon, Texas. So again, if you are in this area, we need you to run to your safe spot as these catastrophic storms approach. Again, we are measuring wind gusts on the velocities at 112 miles per hour, less than 10,000 feet up into the atmosphere. So there is a good chance that these are catastrophic winds at the surface as well. Again, Mertzon, Texas, you need to be underground, as well as areas to the west. This is eventually going to make its way towards San Angelo. Now, if these winds remain this intense as they approach San Angelo, this could be quite an event. This could be the kind of thing that knocks out power for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Again, at one point, we had a very, very intense wind core there on the velocities. Gusts were ranging anywhere from 100 to 110 miles an hour, and we still have that. It's just getting more widespread. So, again, if you are in Mertzon, Texas, especially to the north near Old Burke Place, you need to make sure that you are getting out of your mobile home or your camper or whatever, and make sure that you are seeking shelter, because this is an incredibly dangerous situation for Mertzon, Texas, Sherwood, Texas, as well as Old Burke Place. Again, we're likely going to see an extension of this 100 mile per hour warning polygon off to the east-northeast. Again, if this continues in the same track that it has been, this will be approaching the general region of downtown San Angelo. Again, extremely intense storms right now as they approach Mertzon and areas off to the north. Again, Stormrunner Media on this line right now in West Texas. Again, we are going to have a live look at these extreme severe thunderstorms as they approach. Again, this is the first time that we have seen this tag all year. I'd also like to note we do have 7 tornado warnings in effect right now. We have been seeing tornadoes left, right, and center this evening in portions of eastern Oklahoma as well as northern Texas. Again, we have had ourselves quite the tornado outbreak today across the southern plains. The Storm Prediction Center upgraded to a 10% hatch tornado risk there for sections of Oklahoma and Texas, and that definitely verified here. Again, you can see all those tornado reports coming in from areas west and north of the DFW Metroplex, and eventually some likely coming from the DFW Metroplex as these severe thunderstorms approach. And we literally just got a new tornado warning there. That's going to be an extension for our storm approaching Springtown and Paradise. This storm has had some pretty impressive rotation on it for quite a while, so if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you're getting in your safe spot. Same thing with the storm approaching Decatur here. Again, pretty intense, damaging wind gusts with that as well, but mainly going to be watching that area of rotation as it moves on the west side of Decatur, Texas. You need to make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately. There's a good chance that that is on the ground right now, and we're just not getting the report because of National Weather Service, employee shortage, because that has been a huge problem all day as well as last night. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and join the call up with Vincent once again, because again, this is an extreme situation here as these storms approach Mertzon, Texas. And again, we've got Storm Intermedia up live, so we're about to see this as it happens. So we're going to call him back up, and we are going to see what he's thinking about these intense, severe thunderstorms. Okay. Alrighty. So there's Mr. Storm. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. If you can, share the stream, because this is a likely catastrophic situation about to unfold in areas near Old Burke Place, Texas, and surrounding regions. Again, Storm Intermedia is about to get the intercept of a lifetime here. It actually looks like they're going to say south of the main core, because they don't want to drive through that, and I don't blame them. These are the elevation of wind gusts that have that potential to genuinely flip over semis, obviously, and even some larger cars. So you've really got to be being careful. If you do have to drive out here, again, it's not recommended, but if you absolutely have to, you have to drive with extreme caution. Again, luckily, this is a extremely rural area. These are mountainous regions of West Texas, but it doesn't matter. Again, if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter.
Yeah, this is something that you really need to make sure you're taking seriously. By the way, our rotation over Decatur, Texas is still very strong and very tight.
Yeah, I just mentioned that a second ago there. Again, there's the very real potential that we do have a ongoing tornado on the west side of Decatur. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter. Again, if we're going to see something tornadic, it's likely going to come out of these supercells here on the northwest side of the DFW Metroplex. So again, going back over to our severe thunderstorms actively producing 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Yes, 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts at the surface. We have a storm spotter approaching those right now. Again, we've also got Storm Intermedia. It looks like they're not going to even attempt to drive through that, but we're still likely going to see some elevation of those winds there as they are about to go through the worst of this over the next couple of minutes. So again, you're going to have a live look at that just above my head there. That is live from Storm Intermedia. But again, an unbelievable situation about to unfold here northwest of Mertzon. It's also worth mentioning that this storm does have the tornado possible tag associated with it, because we do have some broad rotation. Again, if that tightens up any, we could be dealing with a strong tornado threat, but the chance of that is quite low due to the fact that this is a QLCS, not a discrete supercell or anything like that. But again, either way, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. I saw that, Stiff. Ada, Oklahoma, we did just have a tornado move through the northeast side of town. Again, quite an intense one, which is quite unfortunate, because we just had one roll through that same exact area just a couple of months ago. Alrighty. You need to make sure that you are seeking...
It is insane.
So, anyways, again, if you are in this region, you need to make sure that you're seeking shelter. This is an extremely dangerous situation for areas southwest of San Angelo, Texas. Again, on the velocities, we are still measuring wind gusts of 100 miles an hour or so, a few thousand feet up into the atmosphere, admittedly, but still quite intense here as this moves northwest of Mertzon. And again, eventually this will be moving towards Carlsbad. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued there. That is a very large one that covers a good chunk of our line of storms moving through Oklahoma right now. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour and half-dollar-sized hail for Atoka, Colgate, and Durant. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did just have a high-end EF1 tornado impact Ada, Oklahoma last month, and now we already have reports of tornadic damage from that region, so pretty devastating stuff. Again, we're going to see what happens there. We do have a storm spotter in Ada right now, so we're going to likely see those reports come in pretty soon here, but remember, they're going to be somewhat delayed due to a lack of staffing. Alright. So again, if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are treating this like it's a tornado warning, because these are, again, equivalent to EF1 tornado force winds here. But again, the problem with this, compared to an EF1 tornado, this is, a 10-mile wide swath. With an EF1 tornado, at most, you're talking about, okay, I'm going to say 1.8 miles, because that's what we had the other day, but usually at most with a EF1 tornado, you're just talking a few hundred yards wide. In a situation like this is an extremely large area, so you got to be careful out there and make sure that you are seeking shelter.
Yeah. And this is very crazy stuff they're seeing here. So if you're interested in joining us, we do have a 100-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warning. This is just to the west of San Angelo, Texas, for Mertzon. We do have storm radar media that's actually, they're literally positioning south of the highest area of winds, because these are such destructive and dangerous winds that we have going on with this. But the 100-mile-per-hour severe warning will end in 25 minutes. So I'm interested to see what kind of wind tag that they will put the storm with if they do reissue that warning for San Angelo.
If I had to guess, it would probably be about 70 miles an hour. Again, at this point, just looking at past velocity frames, the highest area of winds, obviously nowhere nearly as intense as it once was, and I think that trend's going to continue as this pushes further off to the east, but definitely very unexpected to see that tag out there. But again, it makes sense as we go back, say an hour ago. If we look at these velocity scans, not even an hour ago, like 30 minutes ago, these were unbelievably intense across the west of Mertzon area, again, near Highway 163, just 20 miles south of where we had that wedge tornado earlier. We were measuring 100 to 110 mile an hour wind gusts on the velocities just a few thousand feet up in the atmosphere. So, again, definitely had that potential to be, 100 mile an hour winds, or potentially even slightly greater than that at the surface. But luckily, this is an extremely rural area, so likely not going to end up seeing any sort of damage out of that. New tornado warning just issued. That's going to be going out for portions of southeast Oklahoma. That is for an embedded area of rotation in our line of storms near Durant. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately. Lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows in an interior room. Again, looking at this on the terminal radar from Dallas-Fort Worth, we still can't really see too much there. Again, there is a radar app where you can see that radar in Durant, Oklahoma, but it's not public for the most part, so. Anyways, again, if you are west of San Angelo here, without a doubt, you need to make sure that you're getting to your safe spot. Again, storm intermediate, not even in the highest elevation area of those winds. Again, they're probably getting about 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts right here. Again, you can see those bushes shaking around and stuff. They are just now getting on the move, so we'll see what they're going to do here. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning to the south for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour and half-dollar-sized hail, and that's going to be going out for parts of I-10. That's going to be going out for very rural sections of southwest Texas there.
Yeah.
Quality Inn got hit, major damage. Are you out there in Ada, Oklahoma? I feel like I recall you saying something about that. If you are, just let us know what you're seeing. Again, I'm praying for you, man. Again, that's awful. 2 months in a row you get hit by decently strength tornadoes.
And right now, kind of tracking SRM's move right here.
Whoa, Matt with the $2 dono, W Matt's in the chat. Sorry.
looks like right now they are heading west. I'm wondering if there's.
All right, we're going to mute up so that we don't interrupt this stream. But thank you so much, Matt, for the $2 donation. Everybody spam up those W Mats in the chat for Matt the GOAT. Matt's always here. He's always supportive, and he's always amazing. I say that a lot, but W Mats down below. And my good sir, let's get you thrown up there on the donation board. That's incredible. W Mats down below. Whoops. We don't really need it in all caps. But seriously, thank you so much, Matt, for the $2 donation. What's up, Seawolf Lover? Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for wind gusts up to 100 miles per hour near Mertzon, Texas.
Stewart, Oklahoma. This is for radar indicated rotation. And it appears that we have no hail falling with this pocket of our line here. But again, it's very hard to tell, how strong this actually is because of how far away from the radar site it is. But you can still see some broad rotation over Gertie right now.
So again, likely going to see a reissuance of this severe thunderstorm warning shortly, mentioning, 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts likely still being a possibility as this portion of the line approaches Carlsbad and San Angelo. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are prepared to seek shelter if necessary. Again, unbelievable. 100 mile an hour wind gusts. And again, it was out there where nobody probably even saw it because we did not have any chasers go through that specific pocket of winds because, again, I don't blame them for not wanting to drive through that.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, even just now, storm intermediate is getting about 50 mile an hour gusts, and you can see the impacts of that at the surface. So, again, 6 tornado warnings remain in effect here. Most of them at this point being for the line of storms in southeast Oklahoma, just more embedded areas of rotation popping up. But I will say, again, this little supercell here near Springtown, Texas, it's going to continue to try to do something. Again, we're not going to guarantee that it's going to succeed, but it's going to try to pop off a tornado here. I'd also like to note the supercell off to the west just underwent a cell merger approaching Jacksboro, Texas, so we'll watch for an uptick in rotation with that. But new severe thunderstorm warning there going out for Cross Plains, Texas for $half size hail and 60 mile an hour winds. If you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows.
Looks like there's someone on Twitter that is right in the path of the highest pocket of winds. So,
okay.
We'll maybe see if we can get some updates.
By the way, they just downgraded that to 80 mile per hour wind gusts.
Alright, so we no longer do have that 100 mile per hour severe warning, but again, still extremely damaging winds here north of Mertzon, Texas, approaching the greater San Angelo area, so make sure if you're in this area, you're getting into an interior room.
And again, the good news is, in this area, we have such clear, clean-cut velocities that we can kind of get an estimation just based off of radar on what's going on. This would be about this would be, 2,000 to 3,000 feet up in the atmosphere here. We're measuring gusts, 84 miles an hour. So, again, good chance that we still have a decent pocket of 75 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts at the surface as this approaches areas southwest of Carlsbad along Highway 67. So, if you're in this area, we recommend that you stay in your safe spot. But again, we can inform you that at this point, it's no longer quite as urgent of a situation. Still pretty intense, though. What's up, Nate?
Yeah. I believe we did just get a tornado warning.
We did not. I mean, we got one 4 minutes ago. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but...
Oh, I have notifications on.
Oh, you're right. Yep, you're right. It just popped up late. My bad.
No, you're good.
So... new tornado warning there going out for Colgate, Wapanucka, and Atoka. If you're in this area, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately. What's up, Papa Smurf? We do have some reports of flash flooding from downtown Oklahoma City. And again, that's going to continue as more moderate to heavy rainfall continues to fall over the metro.
We do have a flash flood warning in effect for the next 1 hour and 17 minutes there for the east side of OKC. So area, make sure you are getting to higher ground.
Alrighty.
Staying off of those roadways, especially at night, because it is harder to tell what's in front of you at night, obviously. So again, you want to make sure that you're turning around and you're not drowning.
I'd also like to note there's a pretty clear elevation now in the outbound winds of our elevated pocket of winds that was originally warned for 100 miles an hour, so there's a good chance that this is at least trying to wrap up some broad rotation as this approaches Carlsbad, so I'd be on the lookout for this because there's a good chance that this tries to produce a tornado here.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we were watching over the past couple scans. So like Dave said again, that could ramp up here in just a couple scans, and it's actually looking like it's trying to do that right here, so we'll have to continue to watch that as it approaches San Angelo.
Again, somewhat concerning there. I will say the reflectivity presentation, you can notice also that there is a somewhat of a hook echo there, or some sort trying to develop. So again, definitely at least a broad pocket of rotation developing here north of Highway 67, approaching Carlsbad and Water Valley, Texas. And again, this area, legitimately, that exact same area already had a pretty significant tornado earlier today, so it would be somewhat of a shame. I mean, it would be quite a shame if we saw another one, but unfortunately, it's looking like that's going to be a good possibility. Okay. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be making sure that you're staying in your safe spot. Again, even though this has been downgraded to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, 80 mile per hour wind gusts, you are still going to see extreme impacts to trees, power lines, mobile homes, all sorts of stuff. Again, 80 mile per hour wind gusts are considered to be destructive. So if you're included in that severe thunderstorm warning, you want to make sure that you are treating that like a tornado warning and getting to your safe spot, because those are low end EF0 tornado force winds.
Like near Gertie, Oklahoma, it is one of our tornado warnings. I just want to note that the area of rotation seems to be shrinking. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because, again, obviously, contamination and such, but, again, if you are in Gertie, just make sure that you are staying in your safe spot, but at this point, it's looking like this is pretty much passing through Gertie, so it'll be over within the next 5 minutes or so, but again, definitely a chance for any of these little, embedded rotations to produce a brief tornado here in southeastern Oklahoma.
It looks like our overall severe threat across Oklahoma and northern Texas seems to be kind of diminishing here. We're seeing a couple tornado warnings here and there, but really some minimal impacts as far as, hail goes. But the reason why we're staying alive again is because we did just get a 100 mile per hour destructive severe for areas just to the west of San Angelo, which has now been downgraded to 80 miles per hour. So we're going to stay here just trying to continue to watch this as it... Wow, okay. Look at rotation on that.
Oh, wow, yeah. So that's getting a lot tighter there. So, again, as we mentioned, you want to make sure that you are seeking shelter. Again, very interesting because at this point it doesn't even really line up with our hook echo. So, again, I mean, it's interesting because it's partially contaminated, it's messy, but again, you want to make sure that you're taking that as seriously as possible and seeking shelter.
Yeah.
I did want to mention this. Mr. Twister just created a community post and added me. Look at this. Is this a new YouTube feature? Because I've seen these little screens before, but this says, founding member of Davis Says Weather. I started supporting them before everyone else. I don't know how you get that badge. I don't know if that's been there for a long time or not, but that is awesome. So if you guys get that little notification, at me in a community post, and I'll show it on stream. Wow. Yeah, so that's area of rotation continuing there as this approaches Carlsbad, Texas. I would not be shocked to see this get a tornado warning here. Again, we do have storm runner media on that storm there. It's going to take them a while to get up there, though. See a Sea Wolf Lover. What's up, Roman? What's up, Random Texan Guy? Been watching Max intently for several hours. Weather's been insane with many tornado warnings from central Texas into southern Oklahoma. Certainly. Well, and I mean, it hasn't been, even isolated to southern Oklahoma. We're starting to get into central Oklahoma and eastern Oklahoma. It's been quite intense. And we've even been watching a couple more thunderstorms convect here along the East Coast, but at this point, that activity's mostly ended. But we did have I believe, an 81-mile-an-hour gust. Let's see here. Yeah, an 81-mile-an-hour gust recorded at just over 2 hours ago near Foxville, Pennsylvania. So, again, don't sleep on those windbags.
I think the Medill, Oklahoma radar app thing is a news station app from, that area.
Okay, that sounds right, yeah.
And I think that they use that radar.
That sounds right.
I saw the news station for that area using the same exact radar with the same exact frame, so that's kind of convincing me that that's the case. By the way, I believe... Hold on. I just saw a report from Arden, Texas on Twitter. I need to look back.
New velocity scan there again. Just very intense, but still somewhat broad rotation northwest of Arden, Texas. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are staying in your safe spot. Again, you're not technically under a tornado warning, but with winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour, it's best to just take the proper precautions. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight because obviously it's very late. We didn't have this scheduled or anything, but there's Jesse.
Yo.
Jess, I don't know if you saw, but we had a severe thunderstorm warning that had the 100-mile-per-hour wind gust tag.
Hey, you gonna mark that off of the...
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
Wait, was that picture you sent, happening right now?
What picture?
The one before Vincent said 100-mile-per-hour severe.
Yeah, that was a high-res radar in that area.
What's up?
That was a high-res radar in that area, yeah.
Did that happen?
Yes.
Was there a big tornado in it or no?
There was a tornado. We don't know we don't know the size of it. We haven't got any reports or anything. But all right, guys, here we go. Look at this. We get to mark it off. Where's the 100-mile-an-hour severe warning? There it is. So.
All right, I'll be back in a bit. Sorry.
All right, you're good.
I was wondering about that. Bye, chat.
See ya.
Vincent, peace out, Davis.
Hey, Jesse.
So we need a day 8 risk.
Okay, that warning expires in 9 minutes, so we'll have to wait and see what they do with the next one. So
we need a PDS severe watch and a strong anticyclonic tornado, and that column will be completely filled out. And that'll be our bingo.
Do you think that's possible?
I don't know. I probably not the strong anticyclonic tornado, but we'll see. It's not impossible.
Alright, new tornado warning in Oklahoma. We'll get to that once it pops up here. Any minute now. Every minute.
I went through the whole Jeopardy theme and it still didn't pop up, so
Hold on.
I'm gonna guess it's an extension for one of our rotations that we already have because there's no new areas that appear immediately concerning.
1 second.
I believe that was actually just an update to a tornado warning.
Oh.
So
You know what?
that would be an update to the tornado warning that we have for Durant, Oklahoma. Again, there is a special high-res radar out here, but never mind.
Wow, they just warned it.
Oh, the San Angelo storm. Okay.
So, if you are in the northern part of San Angelo, if you're in downtown San Angelo or Carlsbad, Texas, there, I do have a tornado warning part of this line here that is moving their location. So, again, make sure you are getting into your safe spot, into an interior room or a closet, because either way, you're going to be hit by 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, and also this possible, this tornadic rotation that's developing here. So really not the greatest situation here that we're seeing unfold, because again, San Angelo is obviously a very populated area, but it seems like the area of rotation may go just to the north of there. We're hoping that that's the case, but definitely not something that we want to see. Area of rotation may go.
Yeah, so again, your rotation there is going to be located right now just southwest of Carlsbad. That's eventually going to make its way towards Carlsbad. Somewhat broad right now, but again, either way, you need to be taking this seriously and taking shelter, because we do have an elevated pocket of winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour as this approaches Carlsbad. So again, make sure you're taking that seriously and taking shelter. I'd also like to point out again our... what was I going to say? Okay, yep, that's all I had to say.
We did get a new tornado watch. It is going out for parts of northwestern Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, and northeastern Texas there. They do say that they mentioned the threat of a couple strong tornadoes being possible, scattered hail up to ping pong ball size possible, and scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely. I did not expect a couple strong tornadoes possible, but I guess that is something that we cannot rule out.
Yeah, they did mention it in the mesoscale discussion that gusts up to 130 are going to be possible with any intense tornadoes that do develop. So, again, that brand new tornado watch there going out for portions of the Tulsa metro region, and then also going all the way out to sections of northwest Arkansas like Fayetteville, Harrison, and Fort Smith. So if you're in that brand new tornado watch, make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts overnight. Make sure that you are prepared and you know where you're going to go if a tornado warning does get issued for your location. Our severe thunderstorm warning for Erie and County, the destructive one expires in 5 minutes. We did just get a brand new tornado warning that's going out for Cross Plains, Texas. Again, this is the supercell we mentioned earlier that's underwent a merger here and that has now intensified in its rotation. So if you're in Cross Plains, again, you've already had to undergo this precaution about 5 times today, but you need to be seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows in an interior room. Your rotation will be located right over Burkett. Very broad but somewhat intense, and you've also got hail up to golf ball size with that, so nothing to play around with.
Yeah.
Spalding, Oklahoma, reporting damage to homes. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff from a lot of these small rural communities in southeast Oklahoma that have been impacted tonight. Again, it's quite sad to see. And a lot of these same areas were impacted on the April 27th, 2024 tornado outbreak.
One second, everybody.
So again, Summer Media is now entering San Angelo, so they're going to have a live look at that rotating portion of our thunderstorm now as this approaches Carlsbad, Texas. Again, there's your rotation. We did just get a brand new severe thunderstorm warning there. That's going to be going out for portions of our line in Oklahoma. That is going to be for damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. And it also has the tornado possible tag with it for that broad rotation near Calvin. So if you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows. Again, outside of that, not a whole lot of new information that we have for you guys. Again, the destructive severe thunderstorm warning in northeastern Erie and County will expire within the next 4 minutes, so we'll see if they reissue it or not. But at this point, again, our elevated pockets of winds are much less intense. However, damaging winds up to 60, maybe even 65, 70 miles an hour can't be ruled out entirely. And again, you can confirm there from the San Angelo, Texas radar that we do have some rotation here with our storm approaching Cross Plains. So if you're in this area, stay in your safe spot.
Alright, I need to go, so I'll talk to you later.
Alright, sounds good.
See ya.
See ya. Alrighty, so Mr. Storm just ended his live feed there. But we are going to continue to watch this. Because I personally don't think that we're done for the night. Again, this broad rotation near Carlsbad, Texas being my main concern now. Because if this tightens up, there's a good chance that we see a pretty decently strong tornado out of that. But yeah. Again, Storm Media along Highway 67, they're approaching that area of rotation. near San Angelo. Alrighty. So again, I know a lot of people are wondering about tomorrow. Definitely going to be a big-time damaging wind threat, but a couple of strong tornadoes can't be ruled out from parts of Missouri back down through Arkansas and even far western Illinois. They're potentially going to have an elevated tornado risk depending on if our QLCS manages to spin up a couple of tornadoes or not. Again, looking like it's going to be a huge wind event no matter what, though. Can potentially even, considering a low-end derecho terminology there. Definitely wouldn't rule it out. New tornado warning going out for portions of southeast Okmulgee County there. I know these Oklahoma counties by heart at this point. That's going out for Morris and southeastern Okmulgee. If you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, that is for a broad area rotation near Hoffman and Schulter. That is going to be right north of I-40 there. So, going back down to San Angelo, again, I'm still somewhat concerned for the Carlsbad area. I think that this rotation is probably not done yet as it approaches Highway 87. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we just had damaging wind gusts up to 100 miles per hour near Erie County, Texas. Unbelievable stuff. Again, this has been a huge tornado outbreak that we've been dealing with today. Just tornado after tornado after tornado. Again, we haven't been live for a lot of it, but the 10% hatch risk definitely verified. Not even necessarily over this area, though. I mean, it could have been pushed further southwest even. But it also verified up there. So again, good play by the Storm Prediction Center. I didn't necessarily agree with that 10% hatch risk when it came out, but man, did it pay off for them. What's up, Mary? How's it going? Wow. Okay, so that rotation really wrapping up there as this approaches Carlsbad, Texas. This could potentially be a pretty big situation. So again, make sure that you are seeking shelter now in Carlsbad. New tornado warning there, northwest of McAllister, another broad area rotation over Calvin. Not a lot to say, just seek shelter. Again, don't have a great look at it from the radar, obviously. Excuse me. But, again, potentially a developing tornado now, southwest of Carlsbad, Texas. Praying will be okay tomorrow in northeast Texas. I will tell you right now, northeast Texas tomorrow, you are going to be just fine. Maybe some wind, some scary lightning, but no sort of tornado threat out there in northeast Texas. So again, happy Easter. Again, we are 14 minutes away from Easter. It's just unfortunate that we're going to be dealing with a potentially significant tornado outbreak on Easter Sunday. Quite sad. Because if it's anything like today, people's lives are going to be changed. Again, we're just lucky that the strongest and largest tornado of the day was in a rural area. But again, tightening rotation. There's this approaches Carlsbad, Texas, potential tornado ongoing. So again, seek shelter. Storm intermediate is going to be in that area here within the next half hour or so. This is a live look from that area. Again, you can see all that lightning lighting up your screen there. Again, very hilly region of West Texas. The further west you go, the more hilly it gets. And again, we've got to hope, and again, I'm praying that this doesn't produce a tornado because this is going to go right through Carlsbad if it does. Like, right through. You know, it's not north side of town, east side of town, south side of town. It is going to go right through. So again, I hope that this is not going to do that. And we hope that this rotation just broadens out. But I will tell you, as of right now, looking pretty concerning. That's what I've got to say about that. So, again, we'll continue to watch this, but Definitely quite concerning at the minute. Okay. So again, starting to broaden out there. Still got to watch it as that moves through Carlsbad. Again, potential tornado genesis ongoing. Seems there are often tornadoes on that day, just because it's an active part of the year. I mean, pretty much every day of April has a historical tornado outbreak associated with it. I mean, heck, you've got half the days this year so far in April have had historical tornado outbreaks. Not half of them, but significant amount. So new severe thunderstorm warning for Eastland and Cisco, Texas. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows. Some lime-sized hail incoming there. So make sure you're on the lookout. Again, storm intermediate is going to be on that area of circulation here very shortly. Okay. So again, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me here tonight. I know it's very late. Unfortunately, we can't control when the storms happen. Alright. So rotation continuing to broaden out. And again, even if it is still producing a tornado, it's likely going to go on the east side of Carlsbad now. Potentially east of the town entirely. Again, Carlsbad, not a huge town, about 300 people, I believe. Carlsbad, Texas population. Oh, that's because I'm on a phone call still. Carlsbad, Texas population. What the heck? Carlsbad, Texas population. 600. A little off. So again, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe. We are watching an area of rotation approach Carlsbad, Texas, potentially producing a tornado here as it crosses Highway 87. Again, going back off to the northeast with our line. At this point, likely going to see tornado genesis not occur quite as much here. Still going to watch this supercell near Bridgeport in Decatur, Texas. This is a relatively new one, I believe. No, I guess not, but we're going to watch this because it's trying to circle up some rotation there near Bridgeport. Pretty clear already. All right. So at this point, rotation is now in Carlsbad. Again, luckily, thank the Lord, that weakened out right at the perfect time. Again, no signs that ever actually produced an ongoing tornado, but it definitely could have, at least briefly. No signs that confirmed it, I should say. So again, going back up to the northeast here, I'm a little concerned about the supercell near Bridgeport. Again, rotation over Highway 380 right now, I feel like that's going to have a pretty good potential to develop here pretty quickly. Alrighty. So again, rotation at this point has passed through Carlsbad. Make sure that you're staying in your safe spot if you're still out ahead of this. New severe thunderstorm warning. Damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour in nickel-sized hail possible there for the San Angelo Metro. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors. And a brand new tornado warning also now going out for parts of Oklahoma. It's an extension for our rotation approaching McAllister. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. Alrighty. So again, going back up here to our Carlsbad rotation, likely did not produce a tornado, luckily. So at this point, we are probably going to end off our live coverage here. Just so that I can get myself some rest here before our big day of coverage tomorrow. And also, it's Easter Day. You know, you got to celebrate. I am still on gin. But, again, just remember, Jesus loves y'all. I know I don't talk about that kind of stuff too much on here, but I think it's important to mention that on this day in particular. New tornado warning there going out for parts of southeast Oklahoma. That is for areas south of Caney. Seek shelter immediately. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got for you guys today. So again, thank you all for tuning in. And thank you, Matt, for the dono. And I will see you all tomorrow with another tornado threat back in the plains. Again, just one last little update here on our bingo card before we hop off. This is what things are looking like now. We now have 5 spots filled out. Guys, we made this thing like the perfect difficulty. For our first year ever doing this, the difficulty is very good because I want it to be questionable if we're going to get a bingo or not. I don't want it to be a guarantee, but I also don't want it to be impossible. I want it to be a 50-50 chance. At this point, it is looking like it is going to come down to a coin flip because there are so many columns where we can get it, but every column, there's something still pretty tricky that's going to happen. I will say, we now have our first column 4 out of 5 spots completed. If we get a PDS in Wyoming, we're done. So, very interesting season coming ahead. But again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to this live stream. I'll see you guys on the next one.